the life, the bright lights, the type, the crowd likes. Where you at, ballers? Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me. Where you at, ballers?
Cavs at Pacers. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, March 18th with more free picks. We're rocking with the under 225 in this Cavs-Pacers game. So, just so you guys understand my thinking, because betting an under with the Pacers probably seems counterintuitive. The Pacers have only gone under 225 4 times in their last 10 games. The Cavaliers have gone under 225 8 of their last 10, and really 9 if you remove the double overtime in that Chicago game, because in regulation there was only 206 points scored. So really, my thinking here is that the Cavaliers' defense is the strongest part of this game, which some of you might disagree with. You'll say the Indiana Pacers offense is the strongest component of this game. Now, just look at the Cavaliers as a whole. 4 of their 5 starters have missed significant time this season. Only Jared Allen has played over 60 games. Yet, they're still the 3rd best defense in the entire league. If you break it down to the last 10, which is what we usually do as cappers, guess what? They're 3rd in defense in their last 10. Their defense is insanely consistent. And I think that that's the only path to victory that they have in this game. They're certainly not going to try and outscore Indiana, not going to get up and run with Indiana. Defense and shooting variance, as in threes going their way, is the only way that they can win this game. I still think the Pacers win the game. The spread is a lot for me because of the Cavs' defense. The total, I think, is a little bit too high for 2 reasons. One, the Cavs' defense can hold Indiana to slightly below their average. And 2, I think the Cavaliers are going to have a hard time scoring points if shooting variance doesn't go their way. So, give me the Cavaliers' defense to hold this game under the 225 total and cash us a ticket to start the week, y'all.
Blazers at Bulls, 8 o'clock. United Center, Chicago, Illinois. An official play on NBA Shot Clock on this Monday. Portland +7, 1 unit. Portland remains on the road off a blowout loss at New Orleans, where they have performed great all year at the Eastern Conference. Portland is 6-2 ATS at the East, and more importantly, 4-0 ATS at the Central, with outright wins at Indiana, Cleveland, and Detroit, and a tight 6-point loss at Milwaukee. Chicago remains at home off a blowout win against Washington in their previous game, going on the road after tonight's game. Chicago has underperformed in this spot all year, going 6-8-1 at home in the final game of a homestand before traveling. It's clearly psychological. Portland has also been dominated by the Bulls in recent history, finding Chicago 4-0 straight up at ATS in this matchup by an average win margin of 14.5 points per game. Now books are moving the line down short to 7.5-7, suggesting a tight game is coming tonight. We have Chicago to win this game at most by 5 points, by the Blazers at +7, and let's cash this ticket.
Miami at Philly. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, March 18th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Miami Heat on the money line. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet and get right to the point. I got Miami +4.5 in pocket. That line has moved all the way down to +2.5 with all the action coming in on the Heat. I'm just going to go straight up money line once it goes under 3 because I believe the Heat are going to win this game. They're tied for 7th with Philadelphia, so this game does have a lot of significance. They're a half game behind the Pacers, who are in 6th. And obviously we know 6 is the new 8. You're trying to finish 6th so you're guaranteed a playoff spot and don't have to play extra games by playing in the play-in tournament. And for those of you that think, oh, Miami, it doesn't matter. They showed you last year in the play-in tournament that they can still make the finals. Yeah, stop with all that noise. When you're a team like Miami that's constantly dealing with injuries, you're not trying to play more games. You're trying to play less games. So let's just start there. Second, obviously you want to avoid the play-in tournament because if you do that, then you avoid Boston and Milwaukee in the first round. This Philadelphia 76ers team is holding on for dear life, and I think it's more likely that they finish 10th than they finish even 8th. They're a bad basketball team right now. Miami is a good basketball team, and I get it. They're at the rest disadvantage. They're 5-5. Straight up, on the second night of a back-to-back, and they're 5-5 against the spread on the second night of a back-to-back. To me, that does not apply here. What applies is I'm getting a favorable price against an inferior opponent. And when that's the case, I will always take that to the bank every single time. Let's cash another ticket to start the week. Miami money line, you already know what it is.
Timberwolves at Jazz, 9 o'clock. Salt Lake City at the Delta Center. An official play on NBA Shot Clock. Utah plus 7.5. This is purely a terrible spot for a Minnesota team missing Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert on the injury report, and a front-end road home back-to-back playing the Nuggets tomorrow night on national TV. It doesn't get much worse than this as a trap spot for the Wolves. Not only that, this is the fourth matchup of the year. Two words we love on NBA Shot Clock: data abundant. The Wolves are 3-0 straight up and ATS against this Jazz team this year, but books are moving the line down towards the Jazz. These teams did just play on Saturday night, and Minnesota did win the game by 19 points on a -8. Minnesota outscored the Jazz by 39 points from the three-point line. Truly an unsustainable metric point. Books are moving the line down from -8 to -7 at open, suggesting Minnesota wins this game by at most 6 points. Buy the Jazz tonight in the fourth matchup of the year on this short line. Utah plus 7.5, 1 unit.
Pistons at Celtics. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, March 18th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Celtics first half team total over 59.5. Been cashing with the Celtics team totals for a while now, so I'm going to keep riding that train until we fall off the track. That being said, 59.5 is a pretty low number for Boston, a team that averages 63.1 per game in the first half. If you take it to their home court, it moves up to 63.6. Now, what that tells you, if you look at those home and away splits, is that their offense is insanely consistent to start games. There's no difference home or away, basically, with the amount of points they score, and they're playing one of the worst teams in the league on the second night of a back-to-back. Now, for those of you that are going to say, well, the Celtics played last night, kind of. They played the Wizards. None of their starters played in the fourth quarter. Only one player on the entire team played over 30 minutes, and only two players played over 25 minutes. So it's sort of a back-to-back situation, but not really. The Celtics didn't really exert too much energy last night. The Pistons, meanwhile, lost in heartbreaking fashion to the Heat on a Bam buzzer beater in a situation where Cade Cunningham, who I think is a future star, just made a poor decision. His shot selection, not only the time of the shot, but just the shot itself. He'll just learn from that mistake, but they're going to come into this one slightly demoralized in the sense that usually when you have a demoralizing loss, you're like, all right, well, we're going to get some get back. We got a game tomorrow. Well, when you're playing the Celtics, a team that's regularly just wiping teams off the floor, to me, that's a demoralizing outlook for a team to lose a game the way they lost it at the buzzer and then have to play basically the second best team in the league on the next night away. Give me the Celtics, team total, over 59.5. Let's cash another ticket, y'all.
Knicks at Warriors, NBA Shot Clock. Monday, March 18th, 2024. Best bet of the day. Knicks plus 4.5, 1 unit. Knicks are in the third game of a 4-game Western trip. 2-0 ATS this trip, showing upward momentum in their road Western Conference schedule. The Knicks did start this season 0-3 ATS on the road at the West, 5-4 ATS since, and more specifically 3-1 ATS at the Pacific, with 3 reversal outcomes being the important capping point here. The Knicks did take a home loss against Phoenix and cover on the road in Phoenix. They did get blown out at the Clippers and win at home, and they did take a home loss against the Lakers and beat the Lakers on the road, which brings us to tonight's game. The Knicks did lose at home 110-99 against the Warriors on February 29th, and the Warriors that day were laying a strong 4.5 points at Madison Square Garden. This opened shorter at home, -3.5, catching a little steam north just to help our side. We have this game graded, the Knicks to win outright by 1 point. The buy hat is engaged. NBA Shot Clock, Monday, March 18th, 2024. Best bet of the day, New York Knicks. Let's cash this ticket.
Grizzlies at Kings. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Monday, March 18th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Kings -10. Those of you that have been following for a while know I don't like laying these big spreads, especially if it's not with one of the elites, which the Kings are not. That being said, the Kings are a good basketball team. They're not my favorite, but they are a good basketball team because they're 6th in the West right now, which is not easy. And the reason why I believe that they're going to win this game by margin is because they are tied in 6th with Dallas, with Phoenix. The Western Conference playoffs are just going to be a bloodbath. Not only the playoffs themselves, but even just the way the season is going to wind down and the position battle to not have to play in the play-in tournament. All of that said, these teams have played each other twice on the season, both times in Memphis. The first time, Sacramento won by 31. The last time, Sacramento won by 9. On their home court, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't cover this spread, especially coming off a disappointing loss to the Knicks after 2 very impressive home wins against Milwaukee, against the Lakers. The Memphis Grizzlies are just trying to wind down their season. They don't have anything to play for whatsoever. Give me the team with motivation who have already shown that they can beat this team by margin, this time on their home court. Sacramento Kings, -10, official play. Let's cash this ticket, y'all.
Hawks at Lakers, out-of-conference basketball, a late-night special, an official play. Lakers -8.5. The Lakers remain at home off a 7-point loss in prime time on Saturday night against the Warriors, and we're finding a spot they have performed great all year. The Lakers are 6-1 ATS at home, staying at home off a prior outright loss. The Lakers have performed well against the Eastern Conference bottom feeders with blowouts against Charlotte and Detroit. And Atlanta comes into tonight's game purely in an awful spot. Atlanta's in the 4th game of a 5-game trip at the Western Conference and a 3rd in 4 road back-to-back, having played Portland tight, Utah tight, and the Clippers last night. This is the 2nd matchup of the year, and this line is telling us a blowout story. Back on January 30th in Atlanta, Trae Young was still available for the Hawks, and the Hawks blew out the Lakers 138-122. Key point on the line, Atlanta was favored there, a strong -4.5. And now the line is jumping 13.5 points towards the Lakers, suggesting a Lakers victory by right around 20 points. Last year, the Lakers were 2-0 ATS against the Hawks, both wins by margin. We expect it to return to that environment tonight. The buy hat is engaged by the Lakers at -8.5, and let's dominate.